Akira is not sure if he can activate the cannon if he wants to or not, as the description of his power specifically says he must be engaged with someone else and these people don't see him as a threat. Soon after the team planning phase ends, Mion calls the home team to head for their next battle, which is a team match in the form of 1 versus 1. Whoever wins 3 matches wins the prize and the losing team will be punished. Akira concludes that this whole team thing wasn't necessary. The cat girl just wanted the players to out their abilities to each other and raise the difficulty of the upcoming rounds. The first match with the opposing team was Rope Man against the bewitching Rin. She asked the salesman to withdraw. Rin didn't want to kill him or lose since no one knew what the punishment was for losing. Rope Man tried to weasel his way out by talking a big game and throwing it all to Lady Luck. But Rin wasn't having any of his games and killed him on the spot, much to everyone's shock, as it happened so fast they didn't see or move an inch. The loss of the match and their comrade's life made the home team argue between themselves and almost fight each other. But Akira comes between the boys to solve the issue so they don't look divided in front of the opposition, who are eyeing the team. Shin's turn is up. He was against a high school girl, Ringo Tatara. Although she looked calm, cool, and collected, Ringo forfeited the match as soon as it started, surprising everybody. Turns out her power can copy other people's power for 10th of their value, and since the big guy is only able to be invincible for a couple of seconds, she was fighting a losing ballot either way. The third match was between Kirasaki and another girl, who can turn little pebbles into huge boulders. Still, thanks to Kiri's fast reflexes and good hand-eye coordination, he deflected the first one and cut through the last, leaving the girl's back against the wall. Since everything she threw at him, Kiri Boy can cut with his empowered swords. To put it short, Kirasaki appeared unbeatable. Everything the girl threw at him, he cut through. It was like a monkey throwing shit at a lion, praying something sticks, and it drops dead. That said, as soon as the neurons in the girl's brain activated, she did the next best thing. Instead of putting this wild boy down with one hit, she first must corner him in a field of boulders to cut his escape route, and then hit him on with more rocks, which in turn was nothing but a distraction to jump with her slingshot in hand and deliver a swift blow. Kirasaki, however, saw through her plan and acted accordingly. When he was out of vision, the young cub broke his stick in half and made another sword to ruin her slingshot and send her back to the ground defeated. Yet after all is said and done, the one who had the last laugh was the little girl. You see, if there's anything that good old lady Karma hates, then it's arrogance and carelessness, which Kirasaki certainly doesn't lack, hence why his man Jules weren't so lucky. With the home team down 2-1, Akira is the next contestant. After talking some smack to his boy for putting him in an unfavorable position, Akira promises he will try his best, but in reality he doesn't care about winning since he already deduced that losing this 5v5 won't result in the group's death. Hence, Akira's priority is to learn the limit of his power, how it activates, what activates it, and the extreme conditions that must be met to activate it. Such thoughts fill Akira's mind with thrill. He first focuses his attention on both teammates and enemy. When nothing happens, Akira moves to the second phase, i.e. scare the crap out of Kirasaki, making the latter manifest the hand cannon from his belief. Simultaneously, it scares the shit out of the guy he is facing. We're also not going to bother recalling his name since he's a background character. The lad even acknowledges it himself, as we can see how he always wished to be MC of his own story, but never was. Back to the actual main character, from one last test, Akira realizes that people on the enemy sidelines won't activate his ability if he focuses on them. With the testing phase finished, Akira shot the guy to end the match, but he was surprised his shots were not doing damage. Thus, using his brain, the main man throws a shoe at the bystander to make him raise his hand off the ground since the guy can nullify other abilities using his own, which is activated by touching the ground. As Akira walks away a winner, he summarizes all the stuff he learned in one line: "There must be an acknowledgement of mutual engagement between myself and the target, otherwise it's useless." End quote. Moving to match 5, it's Yuri against her stalker. Surprise, surprise, win or lose. Yuri was determined to confront her stalker who pushed her into this hell program. Therefore, with killer instinct clear in her eye and harm in her mind, she quadrupled all her physical stats and ran as fast as she could to punch the creep in the guts, knocking the wind out of him literally and figuratively. Akira notes Yuri's ability might be unstoppable if she manages to fully master it. After the 5v5 match ended and the home team won, Mion appeared from nowhere to hand out the prize as well as punishment. Turns out the grand prize was a fancy meal served by the loser team wearing bunny girl suits, which was a very nice surprise to us. Not gonna lie, seeing the redhead hottie in a bunny suit blessed our eyes. But then Akira cursed them by suggesting Kiri Boy join the losers for getting carried. The next day, the fellas say their farewells before splitting to the next stage. Akira works his Ri's magic with Yuri, hoping this interaction will be fruitful for his future plans. The third program has started going inside a dark room. The announcer gives our boy a briefing that he must collect 1,000 to advance, adding that if he knocks out a person, he will earn 10 points, which is nothing, meaning this is going to be an ongoing large quest, and that's about it. While running, Akira thinks over his strategy, but not for long when a man named Katsuya Saito, who speaks Kansai dialect, saying, "I came to solicit you," appears in front of Akira. Soon after, a familiar face comes running towards Akira at top speed. Yuri was running from a group of losers. How do we know they are losers? Well, just take a look at them. I seize my case. That said, one of the losers was lucky enough to be blessed by the hand cannon ability. Seeing this, Yuri mentions they have the same power as her boy, which allows him to activate the cannon after they believe he has it too. Also, they fulfill the condition of facing him in mutual combat. The group makes a run for it, leaving Team Virgins in the dust wondering how they will break the news to their boss, who is seen sitting in the dark and being joined by none other than the deadly redhead hottie. The pair thank their new comrades for helping them and trying to stand up for them on the spot without any hesitation. According to Katsuya, there are multiple factions in the third program. The red team is divided by dangerous people, and they belong to the green team. Akira, who seeks a clue to clear the program, visits the position of the green team. The green camp houses kids, old folks, and women. Seeing this, Akira gets even more interested in who the leader is and how he can house such a big number, supply food, comfort, and safety, while they actively recruit new members and fend off other factions. After an awkward yet wholesome interaction with Homegirl, the main man gets to meet the team leader, Yudo Shirasagi. The old man welcomes the pair and invites them to join their ranks as the faction is lacking members with strong abilities. Akira and Yuri are baffled by the sound of that since they overestimated the faction's power. Likewise, the Greens are baffled that they found 2 new members with rare powerful abilities like the cannon and the multiplying physical power. The old man proceeds to explain how they run the camp and the nature of this new phase. You should each have an interface, which is where you keep track of the point you need to advance. Points are earned by completing tasks and quests assigned by Mion and her underling. And if you haven't seen it yet, it also functions as a currency that can be used to make purchases from the organization in charge. Purchases such as food, medical supplies, refills of stuff some abilities consume, and occasionally some valuable informant. Hence, the program is shaped to be a big group game, but recently a new faction, Team Red, decided to set root in this phase, and instead of collecting points, they collected members and kidnapped people to make their kingdom in this new place, becoming satisfied enough from advancing to another stage. Finally, there is also a third faction called Team Blue that remains neutral and refuses to align with any of the two. Hearing all this, Yuri decides to join the green ranks without any ifs or buts, opposite to Akira, who doesn't enjoy the idea of being forced to stand behind something. Like the main man he is, the lad would rather make up his own mind, so he decides to go all drama queen and raises his hand, threatening to shoot the old man and make a new path for himself. However, to his shock, the hand cannon doesn't activate. Akira deduces that either Yudo does not believe he has the hand cannon, or the old man has an ability that nullifies someone else. When Yuri asks him to stand down, the cannon appears, yet the old man still looks calm. Yudo challenges Akira to fire, to which the latter complies. After that test of power, the two came to an understanding. Akira will join and Yudo will lead. An old sweet woman enters the room to inform the leader they are running out of housing space with all the new people they're recruiting, so our boy tells them they can put him and Yuri in the same room, much to her surprise. Akira got that dog in him, I tell ya. Now under the same roof, Yuri's mind runs some wild speculations on what might happen. Her heart beats faster.